Hey everyone, welcome back to the Studio D channel. My name is Danika. I am the founder and CEO of Danika Inc. And it is my last day talking about the pillars that make up Studio D's platform. And so that was a bad word choice because I'm about to talk about platforms. So if you've enjoyed the conversation so far, make sure you subscribe, like this video, but you can wait until after, see if you actually like it for real. Maybe leave a comment down below and let's continue this conversation. So today's conversation is around that multi-platform component that we discuss as key to our method. And here's why. Sometimes it's just really hard to take care of yourself. So in the Canadian context specifically, there are effectively a couple of different ways by which you can access care. So one is you have maybe some provincial like priority benefits, your essential benefits, which include going to the doctor. But the extended benefits you might have to pay for out of pocket. Additionally, you may have some sort of like minimal coverage that you've purchased for yourself if you are a solopreneur or an entrepreneur or a freelancer, which so many of us are these days, or a contractor, or you may work for a corporation, which may have anywhere between full coverage to limited coverage on your extended benefits. And I love, don't get me wrong, like going to the doctor is important, but in addition to that, massage, acupuncture, dietetics, physical therapies, athletic therapy, all of those components, your chiropractor, that often comes out of your own pocket or through your work benefit program. And so with that, there's actually a whole bunch of different components around how you're going to actually get access to that. So the traditional model for access is going into a clinic. If you're any of those things I just listed, whether you work on we have some friends in film and television who work for Studio D. If you work on set, you're not going to get to a clinic for 9 to 5. That's not a thing you can do. And it's going to be so hard to take time off. If you tell your employer that, I'm going to take the morning off and go get a massage, I'm going to have to miss some meetings, that can be really terrifying to do. If you are a road warrior for a large corporate organization and you are just always on the go, always on planes, always going to the next place, maybe not on planes right now because COVID, but there's still some huge barriers around getting into spaces. And if you're in remote or rural communities, because hello, Canada is massive and has tons of remote communities in it, it can be hard to get access to the type of practitioner who's really important and valuable to your actual care and long-term health. So one of the really interesting components to that is that it's very important for your company that you work for or yourself for your own longevity as a contractor or a solopreneur to be able to take care of your own health. I was talking to the girls right before we hopped on here, and there's a really fun stat. This one doesn't specifically pertain to healthcare, but people who miss their vacation time throughout the year due to the impacts of that missed vacation time through fatigue and kind of depression and not taking care of themselves, on average, cost their companies nearly $2,000 a year per worker in just decreased performance from not taking a vacation. So when you think about the impacts that actually using your benefits and getting out and using the local practitioner network can have, that's so massive. It can have a huge impact on not only your performance, but your well-being and maybe the economy. I don't know, maybe we're trying to save the world here. But when you think about that and you think about the barrier of just like trying to get into a clinic, especially during a pandemic when we were all just closed, we thought about telehealth. And so as an alternative platform to the traditional clinic, Studio D was like, what about telehealth? And when we thought about telehealth, people typically think about doctors, or they think about like psychologists or counseling or therapeutic health. Also lawyers now, which is interesting and fun, but not on topic for us. And so when we looked around for other physical practitioners who might be using a similar platform methodology to us, we really didn't find very many people, aside from like your personal trainer and people who had transitioned solely for the purpose of the pandemic. And so as we worked through why that was, which is actually legitimate. I don't know about you, but an acupuncturist is not going to accomplish much in an online appointment. We wanted to recognize and reconcile the limitations of being a digital practitioner who couldn't use manual interventions, because that's actually huge. And so for Studio D, we're like, okay, where do we go with this? Do we pretend that there's no gap and just continue to exercise online only treatments? Do we fail to adapt to this modern barrier that is getting into a clinic? Or do we do both and create kind of a hybrid that allows for people, whether they're traveling, whether they live remotely, whether they have an inability to access transport because they don't want to go in public right now, to get access to the treatment they deserve? And so right now, what we've landed on and where Kate's going to go with this is looking at how this multi-platform approach really allows you to curate your health experience to your lifestyle and make sure that your health and fitness is integrated into your life instead of something that you have to work your life around. One of the comments that came up really early in our conversation was around, how people build out their schedule with their fitness or their health mechanisms first, and then they try and put the rest of their life around it. And then it inevitably doesn't work, and they ultimately fall off bandwagon. And that's because you can't build your life around driving out of your way to a clinic and just putting everything else second. That's not how life works. And so as Studio D is growing, one of the ways in which it's adapting is it's wanting to be able to go with you in your pocket, on your phone, so that if you want to go on vacation when this is all over, or escape to your house in the woods. If you have a house in the woods, I envy you. I would escape to my house in the woods right now. Or if you really need a physical intervention, you can use any platform that we've set out for you. I know this is a bit of a shorter video, but I really want to give Kate the opportunity to kind of dive into how Studio D specifically addresses online telehealth services, in-person services, and that hybrid combination of the two, because I think it's really valuable and important and something that only your clinical director can do justice to. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, whether you're watching this on Monday or not. Have a good Monday. Have a good week. If you like the conversation we had here today, make sure you like it. And Kate will see you on Wednesday. Talk to you later.